You just let us twist in the wind.
Dan.
Just let us twist in the wind and just had shitty audio for the whole thing.
A whole hour. I can't believe you guys.
And so we made an executive decision, and we're like, hey, we're going to go ahead and just do it again real quick.
Yep. So guess what? We're back.
So you were getting this episode again.
So, how are you doing, bro?
I'm doing all right. Doing well. Living a little bit of deja vu right now. Just chilling, living my best life out here. Star Camp, the place that this is being shot at, as you can see by the sign, is actually being taken over by Anarchy Radio, which is a feature film put together. I don't remember his last name. Our dude Aaron.
Yeah.
Sorry, Aaron, I forgot your last name top of my head. But he booked out Star Camp for several days to shoot his feature film, which has been dope. So that's cool. And now we're in here doing a podcast. It's been a pretty busy day. I've been working on the laptop, doing some clerical stuff, taxes.
Yeah.
Taxes are fucking terrible. I hate it. And, how about yourself? What's been going on with you, man?
Not much. Just working. You already know. Just keeping busy. I'm working on some new music right now. Getting mixing, mastering, getting ready for prepared to drop and announcements. I'm just making sure that everything's, in the right places and stuff. But
all your T's dotted and your I's crossed.
Correct. You already know. No more moving with this music stuff. Like, we just going crazy. Nah.
We going crazy, son. Going crazy. So the Quasar Qult podcast, this is episode 7 of season 2.
Correct.
It's brought to you by Yam Yams, who is our lovely sponsor. They are a cannabis provider. They are a premium cannabis brand. They provide some of the best cannabis around in Arizona, handpicked by the man Tyrone. He will deliver it. No, not him himself, but his team will deliver it to your door. And let me see your lighter. And it's good. They also got carts and shit, edibles. It's lit. That's what we're smoking right now.
They got a crazy great menu. Right now we're smoking on Magnum Opus. That's if you are watching live, you see Jerron taking a hit of. I see here it's like a hybrid, and it's for some creativity. The menu was updated, like you had said, and it was
it's lit. Yeah. They finally bought a fucking graphic designer. I was telling Tyrone to fucking
go crazy on it.
Go get a fucking graphic designer.
The list. All the strains are listed, and it has everything from like what it's used for and what are the effects, and it's lit. It's lit. So yeah, we smoking on that Magnum Opus. It's one of probably the top shelf strains that he has right now.
I think eventually we should start doing like not like drink champs, but like weed, like smoke champs
or
something like that. I'm sure there's probably someone who's already done something like that.
Yeah,
because
maybe.
It's not an original idea, but
yeah,
I think it'd be dope if we just had like smoke champs and we brought someone on here and we just just smoked them under the table and asked them a bunch of questions about their life.
Yeah, that's dope.
In an awkward setting. I think that'd be dope.
In an awkward setting?
Yeah, just make it awkward as fuck. In the middle of a warehouse with like shitty sound and stuff.
Oh my god, that's funny.
That's built most of the Drink Champ episodes. I don't know why I'm bending over when I can just raise this up. I'm gonna raise this up real quick. Bam. There we go. Ha ha. Now I cannot look like a fucking hunchback. All right, so we're gonna get into this shit. Most of the stories we talk about are on QuasarQult.com or Quasar Qult adjacent. When I say Quasar Qult adjacent, I mean there are things that we probably would have talked about if we had a chance to get to it. But we busy as fuck. We out here working like 10 jobs and shit. So,
facts.
Not everything that we talk about on the Quasar Qult podcast is on the Quasar Qult website. And shout out to our listeners out there. We have listeners all over the world. Not all over the world, but in some parts of the world. We're working on all over the world.
Correct.
So shout out to y'all checking out this podcast on wherever you're listening to it because we love you. So our first topic, though, is fucking Chris Rock. And basically, I definitely think that this is a situation where motherfucker took too long to respond. Like, it's like I was saying earlier, is that like Jay-Z and Nas, right? So you have Jay-Z, September 11th, 2001. He drops Takeover on the Blueprint album. The world's like, oh my God, he just dissed Nas. We're telling people about it. when you tell someone about it, you have to, basically, this is this is a pre-YouTube streaming era. So if you tell someone about a song back in the late 90s / early 2000s, they either had to go buy the CD or you had the CD for them to show, or they went to go steal it off the internet.
Yeah.
So one of those three options. It wasn't like, oh, let me just look it up on my phone, because they didn't even have the iPhone or Androids back then. Smartphones were not a thing.
Yep.
So it kind of made more sense back then for Ether to take damn near 9 months for it to release after Takeover came out, because you needed time for the song to spread. Nas is in the gym and like doing like a little Rocky montage, fucking
little Rocky montage.
Yeah, you see Nas in the gym.
Bar him up, man.
Fuck Jay-Z. Fuck Jay-Z. Et cetera, so forth. And so when he dropped Ether, it was like, okay, cool. And I kind of had forgotten about the whole beef to fucking begin with.
Yeah.
So when Ether came out, it was like really renewed the whole beef. Like, oh yeah, Ether. Oh my God, Jay-Z. I forgot about that. Oh my God, this is crazy. But we live in different times now. And the times that we live in now, instant or information is instant. To where if something happens or anything happens, we all have that information at the same time, damn near.
Yeah.
If not at the same time, then pretty fucking close. Like within the day, we all know about something.
Yeah.
Right. Like if I don't know, if there was a, knock on wood, a mass shooting tomorrow in Florida.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Everybody would know.
We would all know about it by
front page Facebook.
by Saturday.
Front page Facebook.
And so
Facebook is like the new local news outlet, because that's where everything is shared now.
I want to say that like more than 50% of the people in the world get their news from Facebook now.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's wild, right?
Yeah, it's basically like how it works, because like I'll be on my timeline and it's not even like from a reliable news source. Typically how it happens, it's like I'll be scrolling and it'll be like, oh, so and so died, or oh shit, R.I.P. Somebody.
Yeah.
I stop what I'm doing and I go Google it.
Yeah.
And then the Google will be like, yeah, that nigga's dead. He was right.
Everything you read was true.
Well, I mean, you have to, right? Because like motherfuckers be having fake. There's actually on my timeline. I'm not even sure if you see this, because my timeline be wild. Our timelines be way different. You know what I'm saying? But on my timeline currently is a whole Justin Bieber is died in a car accident.
Oh my, yeah, no, I saw that this morning. I did see that this morning. I read it as soon as I looked at it. It said June 9th, 2023.
Yeah, it's like a future prediction.
And I was like,
shit's spooky as hell.
shut your ass up.
It's almost like a movie for like a horror movie involving future Facebook posting. It's actually kind of good. Hold up.
Damn.
Hold up.
Hold up.
Boop, 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 boop. Put that in the database, son. That's kind of hot.
Yep.
A man reads Facebook posts in the future and then watches they come true. He takes advantage of it and wins the lottery. But
No, there was actually a couple posts, bro, that they were like, like there was somebody on Twitter that said something and then it actually happened like a couple years later. I can't remember what it was. We're gonna have to do some research.
Though.
Nah,
That's rare.
I know. I'm 100%
That's
sure.
rare.
But imagine though, like some it's like you got to think about it. Like it's like The Simpsons. All of a sudden, they predict something, and then 5 years later, some shit happens.
It's like the law of averages on that. I feel like there's so many people in the world that somebody's bound to say something that's going to happen in the future.
The law of averages. You know how many times The Simpsons have fucking said something and it came true?
The Simpsons also has like 800 episodes or
Bro,
something like that.
800 episodes? That man's a time traveler, I'm telling you.
And these motherfuckers, well, it's a writing room. So this is a bunch of people in a room just coming up with stuff. Some monkeys with the typewriter writing Shakespeare.
That's funny.
Nah, I fuck with The Simpsons. I shouldn't be dissing The Simpsons.
Nah, yeah, for sure.
But they need to also end. You know what I'm saying? Like, I fuck with The Simpsons, but they also need to stop.
They're just the prediction.
I want to say they got
prediction
renewed for like 3 more seasons, some shit like that.
Jesus Christ, how many seasons are there? Like 26?
I want to say they're in their 30s, bro.
God damn.
I want to say they're like 32 or some shit like that.
Fuck.
Or maybe
older
they're
than
at
me.
30.
Older than me, that's crazy.
But that's the thing, like they have a writing room. So like, with writers' rooms with most sitcoms like that, it's like a revolving door. When I was actually in New Zealand, I actually met somebody who is in the writing room for the show The Blacklist.
Yeah.
With Jane Spader. Mm-hmm. She wrote like episode 4 of season 9 or some shit like that. But she was in the writing room for like a minute.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
killing the game.
Well, I mean, the way the writing room work, it's like
It's
like, okay, we got to the right episodes, and with that show, I'm not really quite familiar with the Blacklist, but it's procedural, so meaning that every episode is like different. I might be wrong about this, but it's kind of like X-Files. You know what I'm saying, where it's like Monster of the Week kind of status.
Yeah,
and so they just have to sit in a room and just come up with shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so what is James Spader doing this week? He's gonna fucking fight a monkey who is stealing battery acid out of cars and using it to power a nuclear sub, and he has to stop him. And they're like, lit, write it up.
Write it up.
You know what I'm saying? If you got the script, because it's a time thing too. Like they're trying to get these episodes out quick, so you just whatever, bro. Slap that shit at the fuck table. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Whoever sells. And so we got way off topic there because we're talking about Chris Rock and Will Smith. But going back to writing, because when it comes to Chris Rock, he took a long ass time to write these fucking jokes.
Yeah. Facts.
And what I'm hearing, and I know when we talked about this previously, you were saying that the reviews that you've seen have been a little bit higher than the reviews I've been seeing. The reviews I've been seeing have been mid. On our scale, we have perfect, great, good, mid, meh, and trash.
Garbage.
And so
Yeah.
this, Chris Rock thing is somewhere between mid and good.
Yeah.
It's not great. It's not perfect.
Yeah, I heard that it was good. I saw a lot of. I mean, people on Twitter were like, "Oh, you know how Twitter be though."
But I saw him when he went on tour with Dave Chappelle, and so I saw the preview, and in the preview he has, I got slapped by Suge Smith, right? But I saw him do that joke when I saw him fucking with Dave Chappelle, and here in Phoenix when he came out here, and so it's like, oh. Okay, you were working out that joke and charging motherfuckers $100 so you could work out your jokes.
Yeah.
I didn't laugh then.
Work at the gigs. I didn't laugh then. Would you think I was going to laugh now?
I also have a very dark and dry sense of humor. It takes a lot to make me laugh. When was the last time I laughed? Right, I'm over here thinking, like, when was the last time I had a good old hearty laugh? I don't fucking know, honestly. Like, what's like the funniest thing I've seen recently? I don't know. It's probably like a stupid ass YouTube video or some shit.
Yeah, I be cracking under some stupid shit.
I be watching some dumbass shit on YouTube. Yeah. So just dumbass shit. Dumbass shit. Anyways, I mean, I fuck with Chris Rock. Like I said, he's like top 10-ish comedian. Maybe glancing that top 5 on a good day.
Maybe.
It's
debatable as fuck.
Extremely debatable. He's definitely top 10 though.
Yeah.
And so
sure.
like a top 10 comedian to me, like worrying about being defined as a guy who was slapped by Will Smith. How do you break that stigma? Typically you ignore that shit, right?
Well, the thing is though, like a lot of people didn't even know that he was doing those jokes because when you told me that right now that you went to go see him and that he was practicing those jokes, like I didn't hear a lot of people being like, "Oh, I went to go see Chris Rock." And that's what I'm saying. So it's like,
the joke was mid.
But they were like waiting for that one specific moment to just do that Netflix live. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
Have the whole world broadcasted because, like, obviously Netflix is going to get the bag.
That's a good point. Netflix was doing for the first time their Netflix live stream thing with Jigger.
Yeah.
And so with that in mind, it's like, okay, cool. I think they should have did with Dave Chappelle. I would definitely have watched that. I've watched everything Dave Chappelle does. Even though Dave Chappelle's last stand-up was kind of mid, too.
Well, he dropped like 4 of them on Netflix, didn't he?
They be dropping mad stand-ups, dog.
For Dave, though, I'm talking about specifically for him. He was signed up for like a 4 contract.
I think he put out 5 total, didn't he?
I think it was 4.
Well, no, because not on Netflix he put out 4, but during the pandemic he put out another one that was on YouTube.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a stand-up, but it was for George Floyd. Yeah. It was just like him talking because he'd be preaching.
Yeah.
But when it comes to that, though, it's like I think that like Chris Rock is like that dude. And I remember when we were talking about this earlier, it's like before the slap, when I say Chris Rock, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? You said Grown Ups.
Yeah, I said like Grown Ups, and then there was one comedy special that I like a lot, but I can't remember the name of it.
He had what's the name of it? Blacker Than Black or Back to Black or something like that. It had black in the title. That was the one that I remember the most from him.
Yeah, there was one that was hilarious. I just remember just.
I mean, he's a pretty hilarious dude.
No, he is. But like, yeah, before like back to your point, like before the slap, it was like there wasn't a lot that only certain people. If you knew, you really really knew. Not trying to downplay Chris's legacy. He's a fucking a legend, but. To this generation, he's known as the guy that got slapped by.
Absolutely. And we have to wait for like a whole generation of people to like die off.
Yeah.
Before he's not known.
It's like you're gonna see a video in like 10 years when they're gonna be like they're gonna go to like a young person and like hey, do you know who Chris Rock is? Oh yeah, the guy Will Smith slapped. And then we're gonna go to an older person. Do you know who Will Smith Chris Rock is? And it's gonna be like, oh yeah, the guy from.
See, when it comes to Will Smith though.
I mean, I'm sorry, not Will Smith. I'm talking about Chris Rock. I was trying to say the same name.
Chris
I'm
Smith.
Yams.
Will Rock.
Tell him to get you that fire because it gets you off track sometimes.
Shout out to Will Rock out there.
Will Rock.
But see, the thing about it though is like with Chris Rock. Sorry, with gotta be all confused now. With Will Rock out there, with Will Smith, will he be defined as the guy who slapped Chris Rock?
Maybe.
Nah, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Nah, that's just a blip on his career.
Honestly though, he's gonna be known as that, but then there's like a legendary status to it because like he literally got the Grammy the same night.
So. Bro already has like 5 movies coming out. He did a whole ass slave movie. He announced Bad Boys 4.
They were like,
he's doing I Am Legend.
What they say? They said you're banned from the Grammys for 10 years.
They said that he's 10 years banned from the Grammys.
10 years
but what it means though is that I think he's still eligible to win a Grammy.
He just can't attend.
He just can't attend.
You can't come, bro.
See, it's almost like some mind shit, dog. It really feels like some Illuminati mind shit.
Yeah,
because it's like. And I don't think Emancipation even got nominated for Oscar at all whatsoever. So it's not even. This is not
Chris Rock said that he only watched that movie so he could see Will Smith get whipped. Nah, that clip that he was. I mean, the one clip that I seen was pretty funny. But yeah, you are right. He did probably. He took a bit long. It should have been like how long? Okay, for a comedian, bro. Like you were like we were talking about it in Rap Stance. Like now it takes like what? It has to be like within a day or you're a bitch and you lost.
Absolutely.
It's like, but like, so for Chris, like, should they have done the interview for him the next day? Like, oh, live comedy session with Chris
Absolutely.
Rock.
Absolutely. I mean, Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, dropped an apology in a film.
That's true. That's very true.
We've moved on.
Yeah.
Travis Scott's doing shows again now.
That's
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we are deep into the Biden administration. Like, we are well past the slap. And that's just a sign of the times. It's kind of sad. Blame the TikTok generation. Blame whoever the fuck you want to blame.
Yeah.
But shit be moving. We passed that shit. And now Chris is bringing it up. Now he's ripping the Band-Aid off the wound, right?
Yeah.
Now he's bringing up old shit. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of, but see, the thing
and
about it. And
now everybody's going to go back and look at the slap, and it's going to be the talk about it for the next month and a half, maybe 2, maybe for the rest of the year.
I would not be surprised that 20 years from now, the shit comes out as fake.
Oh, of course. Fabrication, always.
Like, oh, yeah, we planned that shit. Because, like, I always keep thinking about this. But I also know how live production works. We're doing a live production right now, so I know how the shit works. But I do know that there were multiple cameras there. We always saw one camera angle.
Like if we were to do a fabricated beef right now of an argument and literally just tagged everybody, they would be like, OMG, Voodoo Eyes and Toronto. But then we're just like, got you.
See, it has to be the right context, though. It has to be like...
We're just talking and then randomly we just get into
No, we have to like attack somebody and that person comes in and says some shit. Like, I mean, yo, fuck so-and-so's wife or some shit. And then that person comes in and then they slap me.
Wow.
And I'm like, damn, I just got slapped by so-and-so. And then a year later, I drop a diss track called Slap Didn't Hurt. Fuck your wife.
Yeah, fuck your wife.
Fuck your wife. Fuck Will Smith. See, like, yeah, Chris Rock just basically tried to ether Will Smith. And then, like I said, I didn't watch it. It might be hilarious. It might be the funniest thing of all time. But the vibe suggests that it's not.
Yeah.
It's just it's kind of mid.
I think it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, how you're saying. You took too long. And then when you came with the jokes, they weren't as funny. They should have. If it was a year, you should have written some fire, son.
Right?
You had a year to But you had a year to ponder on that slap, bro.
You could have like dropped like a book.
Could have dropped 2 books.
You could have did like I mean, I guess he did go on tour and do a comedy tour, so that's fair.
Yeah, that's true.
But he also could have did anything else besides that too.
Yeah, that's facts.
He could have had a whole. He could have shot a whole TV series about violence against black men, black on black crime, violence documentary.
Boom. New York bestseller.
Right.
2022.
Instead, he called Will Smith Suge Smith, which is kind of a compliment.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
where's Suge right now, though?
He's in jail.
So,
But I mean, Suge Knight is one of the most feared and notorious men in hip hop history.
that's true. I mean,
This dude was like hanging Vanilla Ice by his ankles over rooftops and shit. This dude's
Wow.
ruthless.
Yeah, that's true.
So to be compared to Suge Knight,
in the same realm.
it's kind of a compliment.
I mean, he does say it. He was like, oh, he's like, he said that he was like, he could slap somebody that he could beat. That's why he slapped him. He was like, he slapped me because I'm the only one that he could beat. And he was like, everybody else.
I don't know.
He was like, everybody. He was like, everybody called him a bitch. Charlemagne called him a bitch. Like, he went on this whole rant where he was like, they said that he's a bitch.
But see, that's the thing, though. It's like, I love Chris Rock. I do. But I look at Chris Rock and I know he can't fight.
Yeah.
But actually, hold up. Let me take that back. Let me rewind that statement. Because I have said on previous podcasts that if you make a certain amount of money, you probably know how to fight. Mm-hmm. Because you got too much free time and too much money to not be able to fight.
I feel like he
probably takes some training. Probably got a little Aikido guy pulling up, teaching them some moves and shit.
He's like, after that slap, he was like, nah, I got to take some training.
He knows a couple takedowns.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you can imagine that, like, if, replace Chris Rock with The Rock. And would Will Smith gone up and slapped him? Like, same exact scenario, right?
I don't think so.
Like, same exact scenario.
You know why, though? Because The Rock is bald.
Because he's bald? I don't get it.
Because his wife is bald, he's bald. Alopecia joke.
The alopecia, yeah.
Like,
that makes sense.
I don't think it would have been the same, but
I mean,
it's also the fact that The Rock is like 6'7" or 6'3" or whatever the fucking.
So I mean, that's what I'm saying.
him.
Like, let's say that The Rock dropped that joke. Jada Smith rolls her eyes. Will Smith looks over, looks at The Rock, looks back over at Jada. He just sits there. He's just like, that was pretty funny, babe. You just got to take that one.
You just got to take that L, babe.
Rubs her thigh real quick.
Yep.
It's okay, babe. It's okay. That's the alternate universe, right?
Yeah, that's the alternate universe.
But no, it didn't happen that way. Instead,
yeah. Or maybe like, yeah, I would think maybe Idris Elba, but not really.
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba.
He's too smooth for that. He would never disgrace a woman like that.
He would never disgrace.
He's Idris.
Facts.
His name is Idris. You know what Idris means? It means lover of women.
Oh wow.
That's not what it means.
I know it does.
It means fucking something stupid like stick or some shit.
That's funny as fuck.
Idris means stick. Anyways,
Goddamn.
let's go ahead and move on to the next. We're talking about we're mixing this up. We're changing the order. We're talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Fuck yeah.
So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles just dropped a trailer for their new Seth Rogen produced movie. It's a movie, right? It's a movie, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So the movie is featuring a all teenage cast, which is freaking awesome because of the fact that, well, one, and we don't think that any of the voice actors in the previous Ninja Turtles has ever been led by teenagers before. Yeah. We have to actually fact check that because the only one like Ninja Turtle series I can't think that I haven't watched is the TMNT one that came out like around the
Cartoon
same
Network or Nickelodeon. I can't.
It was like Cartoon Network, and it came out around the same time as the Megan Fox one. And it was like, it wasn't like a companion. It was actually two separate series for some reason. And I had never watched that one, but I know that one was like darker. And the stories were darker and everything was dark.
Like, I'm Batman.
And they all talk like this. I'm Leonardo. I'm fucking Leonardo. I'm Raphael.
I'm Donatello.
I'm Donatello, and I'm intelligent.
Where is she? Where's April?
I'm Michelangelo, and I'm fun.
Nah, yeah, but this whole one, it's like they actually sound like kids. So it's like,
Well, they all seem playful in
Yeah.
the trailer. And I think that's the cool thing about it is that like
it's appeasing to a younger audience, but it's also giving us like, oh, hey, nostalgia. But I feel like they're gonna take it to like on a story route. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we're gonna see a trilogy of like, because it's a film. So
in the clip that I saw, I really enjoyed it because one, I like the animation style. They're doing the whole like Spider-Verse jam,
yeah,
which is kind of, it probably will totally end up being a fucking trend. But for now, we'll rock with it. And two, when they showed the banter between the teenagers, it sounded like a bunch of teenagers talking.
yeah,
And that was the cool part about it because like we were just talking about, like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were really heavy on the character stereotypes.
yeah,
Like if I say Michelangelo, you're like, oh, like he's the goofy one, right? He's the one that's always eating pizza and says cowabunga and is like doesn't give a fuck and is all like
yeah.
lackadaisical and shit. And then you have Raphael, who's serious,
and
I always want to fight.
Yeah.
I'm Raphael.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
And then they have I can't remember which one.
Leonardo. I'm Leonardo. I'm the leader.
Yeah,
And I follow all the rules.
yeah. He's like the Captain America of the team.
Captain America. he's the Ryu. He's the Jay-Z. He's the fucking Tom Brady.
Facts.
No, he is though.
He's the LeBron James of the team.
And then you have fucking Donatello, who's the smart one.
Yeah.
So even though these are like the known stereotypes of the Ninja Turtles, what was interesting about the trailer is that that seemed to be like a afterthought to them being teenagers.
Yeah,
Like at the end of the day, it didn't matter how old Donatello was, because he's out there trying to fucking fight the Foot Clan and Shredder and all that shit.
Yeah.
Like the teenage aspect, at least in almost every single iteration I've seen them, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, has not mattered. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And I was actually, and even as I talk about this out loud, it's actually kind of weird to think about because I always thought that was weird. And it was like, oh yeah, I'm talking about the cartoon series in the 90s. Where it was like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, these motherfuckers are teenagers, right? So like, okay,
yeah,
what the fuck does that mean? Because like in the 90s, being a teenager, at least fed to us, was like on some Zach Morris shit.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Mischief,
yeah.
playing pranks on the principal. But what does it mean when you're a Ninja Turtle? Nothing.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean a fucking thing, right? Like, and they kind of played to it a little bit, but Leonardo was way too serious of a nigga to be a fucking teenager.
Yeah.
That dude was acting like he was 35.
Yeah.
That dude was stressing like bills and shit. Like, we got to make sure that we do it. You know what I'm saying? But in the trailer that we saw, they were all like joking around and
Yeah.
acting like little fucking kids. Like they didn't have cares in the world.
Yeah,
There
that's
was no
part of the reason.
burdens.
That's part of the reason why I feel like they're gonna build on these characters, because the cast that's also voicing them is very young.
Yeah, the cast is awesome. It's
Yeah,
Ice
and-
Cube, John Cena,
Yeah.
how you say his name? Giancarlo.
Oh yeah.
Giancarlo.
I think.
What I call him, Despacito. Despacito.
It's Esposito.
Esposito.
But it's Giancarlo. Yeah.
Giancarlo Despacito.
Yeah. Jackie Chan is gonna be Master Splinter, which is pretty dope, pretty legendary. But yeah, John Cena, Rocksteady, Paul Rudd, Post Malone. It's a pretty awesome voice casting there. I don't know. I like John Cena. John Cena's been one of my favorite new actors. I feel like he's been killing it. But
I wonder how that conversation actually went down from a studio perspective, because I almost feel like, hey, I almost feel like when it comes to that, oh hey, we're recording right now. No worries. Yeah, I think when it comes to the studio aspect, like it's like, oh, let's throw Seth Rogen a bag for
Yep.
$200 million to reboot Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right? Now, if you're Seth Rogen, you have a couple options there. You can be like, okay, let's do a live action version and use that entire bag on CGI and costumes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Or let's cut that shit in half and pay John Cena half of what it costs to be a voice actor.
Yep.
And do voice acting instead, and you pay for animation, and we put the rest of the money into animation. do the Spider-Verse style that's popular. It's actually pretty genius. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because they save a bunch of money in a franchise that's beloved.
Yeah.
If Seth Rogen tried to go live action,
It would have been.
it probably would have failed.
Yeah, I feel like just because off of the last ones, I feel like like you were saying, they played too much of the stereotypes of the characters, and that's part of the reason why the last one was. I don't know, I didn't like them because they're all too serious in the last movies.
You're talking about the Megan Fox ones, right?
Yeah, the Megan Fox ones. Yeah,
well, with that too, like it was like the Michael Bay action Transformer vibe. That they're trying to do.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah,
because basically the story behind it, if I recall correctly, is that it's something along the lines of like, oh, Michael Bay was doing Transformers, the franchise was starting to fall off, but they still kind of like wanted to keep that vibe.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, hey, why don't you do the same thing with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? And he's like, bet.
Yeah, no.
And he's like, okay, sure.
No, Michael Bay, we love you, but no.
Yeah, I mean, why not though, right? It's a bag, but at the same time, it's like, you can't really fucking expect that to be good because, it was all dark and it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't really enjoy those that much. I mean, they were all right. The first one was fine, but then I didn't watch the second one because the story didn't bring me in enough. And that's
I actually liked the second one better than the first one, but yeah.
And for me, that's what's going to be about when it comes to this one is that, like, let's say it looks good so far. Mm-hmm. Animation looks good. The voice acting looks good. The banter between the teenagers looks good. But is the story good?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it comes down to. Is like, is it going to be a good story?
I mean, yeah, I have a lot of trust in it only because the last two things that Seth Rogen has been a part of have been super dope, like The Boys and Invincible, which I absolutely love, and I cannot wait for season 2 as well.
I think they said that season 2 is coming later this year.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I'm hyped, bro.
Should be dope. Should be dope. I'm excited to see how that turns out because I think with Invincible 2, it's like one of those things where the hype train, which is kind of a pun if you've seen the season finale of that show, the hype train's a little bit too big for Invincible season 2. It's almost on some Squid Game type level.
Oh.
For me.
Yeah.
You think so? I mean, like, I think like with like it's one of those things with like Squid Game and Invincible. I put them in the same category because they're surprises.
I feel like I feel like a lot of the reason why I was a surprise was because Invincible isn't that crazy popping of a comic book, but like the story that they took it like in the direction they fast tracked it a lot. But yeah, I do agree with that. But nah, bro, if you've checked out the comic books, bro, it's gonna get crazier.
I've after I watched the season finale, I actually went on YouTube and watched all the like summary videos.
All the summary of it?
Yeah.
Bro, it's pretty
like
fucking
the whole story, yeah.
It's pretty fucking wild.
Yeah.
So
no, it gets crazy.
I feel like like they have like the story that was told and what there actually is in as far as story and how it goes. I feel like they have a lot to work with. And
I think the only reason, because like I said, I read the whole thing. There's a lot to work from, right? And I thought the story was cool. And as I was reading from it, I was like, there's some cool parts to this.
Yeah.
Some cool elements, there's some cool things.
Mm-hmm.
But, and this is kind of a diss at The Walking Dead more than Invincible, because I think Invincible executed it a little bit better.
Yeah.
Because Robert Kirkman is the one who did Invincible, and it's the follow-up to The Walking Dead comic series that he did. And The Walking Dead comic series ends just as bad as the show does. And Invincible kind of doesn't necessarily stick. Keep in mind, this is from what I've watched on the YouTube videos, not reading the comics myself. Mm-hmm. They don't quite stick the landing either, where it's just like, oh, he just wins. And it's like, fuck. After all that shit, you just win. You know what I'm saying? Like, spoiler. But, and then maybe they change that, right? Maybe they change that because they realize that that's not the ending that they wanted to go for. Which is why adaptations are awesome. Because, speaking of adaptations, The Last of Us, they're having full, because the creators of The Last of Us TV show are the same writers who did the game, and they're really expanding the universe on that and adapting it in ways that are slightly different from the game, but still are like shot for shot some scenes from the game. Yeah. And so when it comes to adapting the story from comic to TV show, you can do whatever you want, right? You can change characters around, you can kill off characters at certain points in time. Game of Thrones did that. They switched some shit around. Yeah. And so,
I mean, it's like it's obviously in the MCU as well. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain stories that are picked out from the comics. I feel like that's what they're gonna do with the Invincible thing. They're gonna like pull certain things that were working well. Like, I don't know. There's one part where I guess like Invincible goes to another planet, or his dad goes to another planet and has a fucking family with a fucking ant family or a moth family or some chick or moth chick. Like, it's weird as fuck.
No, it gets super weird.
It gets fucking weird, bro.
There's
so
like
it's it's like
kind of like a Spider-Verse multiverse story in there too.
Yeah,
where like he fights versions of himself and all that.
Exactly.
There's a lot of interesting stuff with that show, so we'll see what happens. Like, I have like kind of mid-tier faith for Kirkman. Like, I was a massive fan of the Walking Dead comics when they first came out. I actually was reading them shits, stealing them off the internet every month. Don't buy anything, bro. The internet
don't buy nothing.
Don't buy anything. But dead ass, like, I used to like literally every month look for Walking Dead comics, and I read every single issue all the way up to like issue like 120, and then the show came out, and then the show pissed me off, so I just stopped fucking with all of it. But with that said, I still am excited to see what Invincible does. I'm excited to see what Robert Kirkman does. I think that he's good at what he does. So I think I said, Invincible took me by surprise, the same way that Squid Game did. Like, I think with Last of Us, I expected it to be good.
Yeah.
And even with Invincible, I didn't even know Invincible was a fucking thing. Maybe it was you. I don't know. Someone was posting about that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody was like, oh, you need to watch Invincible. You need to watch Invincible. I think motherfuckers were in my inbox being like, what do you think about Invincible? You know what I'm saying? I was like, I don't know what the fuck the show is. And I watched it. I'm like, oh, shit, it's fucking hot. It's just hot,
that first episode gets you in.
Yeah. It's just fucking crazy. That shit goes in. And so, yeah. I'm always a fan of captivating stories. If the story pulls me in, I'm good to go. Moving on, we're talking about fucking fighting games. So it seems that we're about to hit a new fighting game renaissance. The return of fighting games, bro. They're talking about bringing back Street Fighter 6.
Lit. Hey, Street Fighter looks pretty crazy, though. Those graphics look wild.
I haven't even played Street Fighter 5, bro.
I'm telling you, man, it looks like they're very reminiscent to like the games, like the older games. They're kind of like, you know, cartoonish, I guess. The last one
like
was
cell shaded.
Huh?
Are they cell shaded? Like full on like cartoon?
It looks kind of cartoonish, but like, you know, upgraded and all like sleek or whatever and dope. But like this one actually looks like you know, some CG graphics, maybe, you know, like Unreal Engine type shit.
I can't see the thumbnail. It looks like motherfucking Ed Sheeran in the top left.
That's what I'm saying. That's the one.
It's like celebrity Street Fighter.
I feel like that's Paul. It looks like Paul right there. Oh wait, no, that's in Tekken. Never mind, I'm tripping.
His name is fucking Steve. That character named Steve.
Oh, okay.
It's fucking motherfuckers up with his Steve punch. Steve fist.
Nah, but yeah, we got a Tekken, Mortal Kombat 12, and the new Dragon Ball Z game. You already know I'm ready for that Mortal Kombat game. That shit gonna be
crazy. I mean, what I was saying like earlier when we were talking about this, it's like I just haven't been on the fighting game wave for a long ass time. I used to be all about fighting games.
Yeah.
Like back in the day when I was playing like Tekken Tag and Tekken 3 and 4 and Soul Calibur was my jam. All fucking Power Stone. I used to play Street Fighter. Like I used to play all the jams. Just play all the shits. Now I'm old and my fingers are old and they're brittle and they're slow.
Yeah.
So I like to play single player games where I can press pause. I'm not shooting motherfuckers in the gulag like on Call of Duty and shit. That's just stressful, dog. I can't play online games anymore.
Yeah.
My heart rate goes up. Shit would kill me, son. But going back to the fighting games, though, it's like, I think that for me, I might be absolutely fucking wrong because I don't know shit. I'm just a black man in this world trying to survive. But I feel like they like already did everything they needed to do with fighting games. It's basically the same thing. Like they're talking about what, Tekken 8, right?
Yeah, 7, I think.
How is Tekken 7 fundamentally any different from Tekken 6, 5, 4, 3, or 2?
The story is different because motherfuckers have kids and different shit. Like Mortal Kombat 11.
Motherfuckers got kids now.
Yeah, some dead ass, bro. It's exactly like how Mortal Kombat 12 is. Mortal Kombat 12, like Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade have a daughter, and Jax has a daughter, and
Just all their kids.
like they have kids. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're moving for like new characters and also trying to like grow with the franchise and stuff.
That's funny because it's like you don't need to do that with that. They rebooted Spider-Man 18 fucking thousand times.
Yeah, I feel it, but I feel like Mortal Kombat it did a great job on it. On like like I don't know the story for Mortal Kombat. I don't know. I'm just maybe just
No, the story for Mortal Kombat's nuts though.
Yeah, I feel like it's
out
really
of all those ones mentioned. Hold on, let me bring it back up. It's like what Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z is always going to be legendary, but we're talking about like
Mortal Kombat. The story's crazy, dog.
Yeah, the story's fucking dope.
Like crazy. Mm-hmm. Like it's a lot to follow.
Yeah,
underworlds and
nether realms,
yeah, and planets and shit. Like there's a lot going on there. It's not just motherfuckers punching people in the mouth. Street Fighter is basically just motherfuckers punching people in the mouth. What's the story behind? There's no story behind Street Fighter really. I mean, there kind of is one.
Well,
the movie had one, like the cartoon movie, which is fire by the way.
Yeah,
but there's not like a real story.
Yeah, like fun fact on Mortal Kombat, it was actually created because they were gonna make a game about Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And Johnny Cage was gonna be. Johnny Cage was technically, if you look at Johnny Cage, he looks like Jean-Claude Van Damme, and that was gonna be the main character. But then I guess he didn't want to do it, and they just ended up dropping the game anyways, and it fucking popped off. But then they ended up doing the Street Fighter movie, and then Jean-Claude Van Damme was in the fucking Street Fighter movie because he
realized he missed out on that bag.
He tried to get another bag on a different video game movie and didn't get it either. So
he was like, "Hold up,
yeah,
hold up."
Nah, yeah, but shout out to my guy.
Like when it comes to these games, though, it's like I said, Street Fighter.
Yeah,
the movie has a storyline.
Yeah.
Now I haven't played Street Fighter since I played Street Fighter 4. And I thought it was alright. I skipped 5. I haven't touched 5 at all. And now they're on 6. Is there a fucking story? Is M. Bison out here M. Bisoning niggas and then like, oh no, we need to form a coalition to stop M. Bison from M. Bisoning me?
To be honest with you, bro, I have not played any of the recent. The only one that I played of Street Fighter was a Street Fighter versus Marvel or Capcom or whatever the fuck it is.
So I'll ask this question, and this is also a question for our Quazonians out there.
Yep.
What fighting game would you want to see be made into a movie on some Last of Us shit besides Mortal Kombat? Because Mortal Kombat they already did that. You can't say Mortal Kombat.
No, yeah. A fighting game. To be honest with you, probably Sifu, bro.
Actually, that would be dope.
Sifu would be fire as fuck, and I think they are actually making an adaptation movie about that. But
that's actually probably like the most logical fighting game.
Because when I watched the game, like if you watch, I haven't made a video. I was gonna make a video about it, and I slacked on it. But like to be honest with you, when you play the game, they take elements from movies, and they implement it into their characters. So like, I think like there's a scene where he's fighting down the hallway and it's like reminiscent to Old Boy, and then one of the girls is wearing a similar outfit as like Kill Bill. It's like there's all these different things that they like that
they got reference from.
Yeah, they got references from movies, and you know what I mean. And it's also like it's dope, bro. It's fucking dope. I mean, the action is crazy. The storyline is, I mean, it's pretty dope as well. You know, Master gets killed by a student. And gets revenge. But
yeah, Sifu, I really fucking enjoyed that game. I just never beat it.
Yeah,
game's hard as hell, bro.
You know what they did though? They updated it, and now they have a difficulty level.
Is it easy mode?
They have an easy mode.
Old man, kid mode. Are you under the age of 6 and also over the age of 45?
Because they had that bitch on hard. They have hard, and then they had one above hard, and then the 2 below. I tried the one on medium, and I fucking beat it barely, bro. But
nah, I never beat it.
Bro, it's hard, man. It's pretty dope.
I don't be beating games these days. It's kind of depressing. I be feeling like the dogs that they used in 9/11 when they were digging up the bodies and they had the dogs go, the dogs couldn't find anything. So they had to lay down and pretend that they're under the rebels so the dogs would feel like they were that they found something. Otherwise the dogs would get depressed.
Dang.
I feel like that dog when I play video games.
Yeah, bro, that's a little too deep right there, bro. Fuck.
It's a deep metaphor.
Jesus
That's how
Christ.
I feel, man. The last several games that I've
funny.
gotten, I have not beaten. And I'm sad about that because almost every single game I've ever purchased, I beat.
I'm trying to think now. Which game have I recently? I mean, nah, because I purchased both of the Last of Us games and I beat both of those.
Yeah. Last game I bought was Elden Ring. We're not beating.
And I mean, the last game I bought was Sifu. So, and I beat that game. So technically,
I didn't beat Sifu,
bro.
I just got
beat some games, bro, so you can get that sadness out of you, man.
I'm saying, like, I got beat. I've been trying a game, man. I just copped that Harry Potter joint.
Oh yeah,
but like, I see. The thing is like, it's not even Harry Potter. Okay?
What's your character's name? You said
my character's name is Jiggington Mollywhopper.
Mollywhopper. That shit is too funny.
Jiggington Mollywhopper is his name.
That's funny as hell.
And the thing about Jiggington Mollywhopper is the fact that he knows magic. I don't know shit about fucking.
You're a fucking wizard, bro.
But see, like the thing about the Harry Potter game, and I might actually even give a review about the game, is it's just a little bit too kiddie for me.
Yeah.
Like the gameplay, the structure of it, it's actually pretty lit. Shooting magic is kind of cool. Flying around in brooms, pretty lit. It's not something that I haven't played before. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's like, oh.
I feel like there was a Harry Potter game where it was almost the exact same thing.
Well, so I think it was like the movies, right?
Yeah.
Well, this is Hogwarts Legacy.
But you were following Harry Potter story, so it was like you play as Harry.
Yeah. So you know that game, Bully?
Yeah.
It's like Bully meets Harry Potter because you literally have to go to classes and shit and learn magic.
Wow, that's crazy.
Like in order to get certain spells, you have to go and you have to do like a little spell.
So you have to use your analog to do like a
yeah. No, that's literally what it is. You have to move the analog in a certain way and press buttons a certain time, and then you learn the spell. And then that's how you progress and learn all your spells. And you have to actually go through the Hogwarts castle and go to the classes and meet all the teachers and all that shit. So it's like if you're a fan of Harry Potter and Hogwarts, it's a must play.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you're someone like me who doesn't fuck with Harry Potter,
yeah,
it's kind of a trudge, man. I'm sitting here playing this game and like I think the thing that annoy me the most is the lighthearted dialogue. Oh, Chipper, we're going to go shoot some magic sticks in the book. And then they have like this corny ass like violin music, like like symphony, like Disney.
Yeah,
and I'm like trying to like kill like a goblin. You know what I'm saying? and I think that the growing moment for me was like when I was playing through the game, through the story mode or whatever, and I get jumped or like robbed, approached by like these magic goons. There's like 3 of them. And like, oh, we're magic goons and we're gonna steal your shit. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of lit. Then they pull out their sticks and like there's like dialogue. I'm gonna hippity poppity poopity poop. The corny music in the background playing. I'm gonna pippity poopity. And then that's the cut scene. And then you go and you start shooting wands at each other. Pew 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 pew. And then he blows up or whatever, and then that's it. And it's like, nah, it's kind of whack. Like, I wish like Rockstar would have made this game because I would have been like, I would have ripped off his arm and then like slapped him with it and then like, slapped his motherfucker in the face and stole his broom and like ripped off. I'm saying like,
what's the rating? E or T?
I'm pretty sure it's E.
Oh,
it's
wow.
E as fuck.
E as fuck.
It's like E. You know what I'm saying? Capital E. But it has to be. It makes sense. It's Harry Potter. You know what I'm saying? Like kids are playing the fuck out of this game. I guarantee. But like, it's like if they had like a little bit of that Rockstar GTA edge, it would have been a banger for me.
Yeah, for sure.
But like I said, if you're a Harry Potter fan, tear that shit up, bro. You will love that game.
Yeah,
you will love the fuck out of that game. But if you're not, But going back to the whole reason why I brought it up, I will probably not beat that game because it's kind of boring to me.
Yeah,
and the music drives me crazy. And I can't do it, bro. I literally turn the music off when I play that game.
That's funny.
I put on Tupac.
Hey, that's it right there. That's how you really set that Harry Potter off.
Shorty want to be a thug. Said he's gonna be.
Shorty want to Leviatus, whatever the fuck.
Levioso. I'm learning all the Harry Potter shit. Listen, I don't know shit about Harry Potter. I don't know a single fucking thing. Never read the books, never watched the movies. I just know it's that Daniel Radcliffe plays the main dude.
And the only scene that I remember, it's funny. Like I always remember is when he was trying to go through the wall, and he was like diagonally. He said some shit like that. I don't know why. That's the only thing I remember. But I'm like, that's it. I don't remember shit else about. Oh, and then the jelly beans. I remember the jelly beans.
It's actually funny because I think about how
Remember those shitty ass jelly beans?
the Harry Potter jelly beans.
Yeah, remember they were like vomit flavored and booger and then
Oh
bacon.
yeah,
And,
I remember that.
you remember that shit?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
My son tried to give me one of those one time, and I grounded him. I don't play with my candy like that, fool. I'm a candy connoisseur.
I'm like, don't you
give me
ever
no-
give me a bacon flavored jelly bean?
Give me a gross ass jelly bean. I'll ground you for a year,
That's funny as
for an
fuck.
entire year. No, when it comes to like I keep thinking about this one time. It's actually not one time. It's like a series of things. One of my exes, she was like, because she's a Harry Potter fan. She loved Harry Potter, and when we were dating, she's like, "Oh, you should watch Harry Potter with me." I'm like, "Nah,
Nah, son.
No, you should watch though. It's Lost, because I was into the show Lost at that time, and so he made a deal. I was like, "Hey, if you watch Lost, I'll watch Harry Potter with you." And so I made her watch all 6 seasons of Lost.
Wow.
She loved it, by the way, because the show's fire. And then we broke up. We broke up like 2 weeks after that.
That's funny.
So I never watched Harry Potter.
Fuck
I
it.
feel like
Fuck it, bro. You dodged a bullet on that
I
one.
did dodge a bullet.
Because they came up with like fucking 7 more
There's
movies
a
and
shit
they're trash.
ton of those motherfuckers. Dog. No, the movies were already done. Like all 7 of the movies are out. She wanted to like have like a Harry Potter marathon because I made her watch. I don't know what is like 50 episodes of Lost.
That's funny.
But she like after the first 2, she was already in though. She was like, "Oh shit, this is like a fire dog." I'm like,
Yeah.
I told you,
I told you
this is fire. You gotta watch this shit. So we started watching this shit, but that wouldn't have happened with me and Harry Potter.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch the first 10 minutes of Harry Potter movie, but oh shit.
Oh shit.
This is
His dad keep him under
you
the.
going like that?
His dad keep him in the attic, son. He only got 2 feet to stand, son.
Maybe I should watch that for my YouTube channel. That would be good.
What?
Just Harry Potter? And do like some, some black commentary and some shit.
That'd be hilarious.
Look at this motherfucker
then play
underneath the
game.
staircase.
And then play the game.
Look at this motherfucker. Levioso. Psh, more like Levioso. I don't know.
Levioso.
I'm terrible at puns. I'm not good at puns at all.
That's funny.
Puns are not my bag. But yeah, no, Harry Potter's kind of trash. Shit. They're to come after me. The Potterheads, the potheads. Are they called potheads?
I don't know.
They should be called potheads.
They should be called potheads.
If our Harry Potter fans call potheads Quasar Qult, let me know.
Yeah,
They should be called potheads.
They should
But
be.
the potheads should ideally understand that going back to The Last of Us, right?
Yeah.
The separation between the different mediums, right? Because I've seen some. When I made that post about the game, someone hopped on there and was like, "Oh, it's a 7 to Harry Potter fans actually." You know what I'm saying? We don't. There's so many things that are wrong with it, and it's like,
Okay.
okay. You know what I'm saying? But I get that though. But I mean, this, from me being like, I'm trying to think like the parallel to that.
You get what you get. Just kidding.
Well, like the parallel to that would be like Spider-Man, right? Like me being a massive Spider-Man fan. I fucking love Spider-Man. That's my guy, right? And as you know, I think No Way Home fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I fucking think that movie really did a bad job of storytelling.
Yeah.
There's some cool moments in there, don't get me wrong.
There is.
It's cool to see the Peter Parkers get together and do all that shit. It's just lit, but the story's trash, right? I'm 100% say that. But I don't judge the original source material for that.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because the original source material is what it is. Like, the comics are what they are. It's up to the people who translate that story into the movies to make it good. And going back to The Last of Us, like, you can't, if you don't like The Last of Us HBO Max show that's out right now, which, by the way, if you don't, you're probably a fucking idiot, because that shit's fucking hot lava rocks. That shit is so good.
Yeah, it's really fire.
If you don't like that,
We can go back on a couple episodes and see how I was not very disappointed, but I guess I wasn't.
you were kind of mid on it.
Yeah, I was kind of like, I don't like the casting. I like Pedro, but I just didn't like the.
Bella Ramsey deserves an Emmy for
But
that.
nah, she
Will. I actually will say
She-
this. Word marker. Mark my words. Bella Ramsey will win an Emmy for Last of Us.
No,
this
for
season.
sure.
Absolutely.
She got me on that episode where I can't remember which one, where she was telling the jokes on the dad
Yeah.
jokes or whatever. I was like, okay, she's funny. I was just sitting there with like a
a bitter smile, frown,
I was like, nah, she cool.
some round.
She's snapping or whatever. But this past episode though, nah, they did. In general, they're just doing a great job at just giving the points of the game that need to be told. Like I know in the game there's extensive fighting and extensive like, you know, infected and all this type of shit. But like
also all the times that I died in that game.
Yeah, there's so many like
It's
you know
not
what I
the
mean?
show,
It's hard as fuck.
surprisingly.
The game's pretty good, like, but the show is very short. It gets straight to the points. It gets straight to the, you know, the storyline of everything. But yeah, it's really good. I fuck with it heavy. But
The reason why I brought that up is because the adaptation. So separating the adaptation from the source material.
Yeah.
If The Last of Us was trash, that doesn't make the game bad.
Yeah,
The game is still good, right? So like with this Harry Potter game that I don't fuck with. I mean, I fuck with it enough, but I don't fuck with it. I'm not like, oh, I'm not thinking about it when I go to bed and shit. Like that doesn't make the original Harry Potter more trash. I already thought it was trash, but it doesn't make it any more trash, right? So that the adaptation aspect of it is like when it like if I decided to write, which I actually am writing a book for the Bond, right, where I'm taking the movie and I'm making a book adaptation, and this is actually my first time ever talking about it in the podcast. I'm about halfway through on this book, right?
That's true.
But I've also added new scenes. And I've also added new dialogue. I've also added a little bit of insight on the characters. I've added more to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not like you're watching them, like reading the movie. You know what I'm saying? You're like getting a lot more out of it that you wouldn't have gotten if you watched the movie.
Yeah.
Right. And so the reason for that is actually partially inspired by Douglas Adams, who wrote The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It's probably like one of my top 5. I always use the phrase one of my top 5s, but one of my top 5 all-time favorite books, I could actually say that is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And but what's interesting about Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is that he actually put it out in different mediums. So it's actually a radio show, it's a movie, it was a TV series, and it was also a book. And the movie had Mos Def in it when it came out a while back. But he even said it himself. He's like, I actually made a point to change certain major plot points in all of these and add stuff to each one of these so they're all different experiences. So the person coming over from the movie who loved the movie is reading the book is going to get a different vibe. They're not going to they're not going to read the book expecting to read the movie. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be like, oh shit, what? This thing's gay? What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know that. That's an example. I don't think there's any gay characters in Hitchhiker's Guide, but they could do that, right? You just put like a little paragraph about him having a gay relationship. You could do that and like add more context and knowledge without destroying the story. Yeah. Last of Us TV show did literally the same exact fucking thing. Like motherfuckers watched the episode with Bill and what's their dude's name? Bill.
I can't remember, but yeah,
the two dudes. And I guarantee, even though there's context in the game, motherfuckers watch that like,
what the fuck does this have
that
to do
dude
with
was
the
gay?
game? Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Canceled.
Canceled.
Some people definitely try to cancel that shit.
Nah, yeah.
But to sidetrack, I know people are actually complaining because this is actually one of the only kind of valid complaints that I've heard about The Last of Us, and they said that they're spending too much time on the gay shit. And I was like, huh? Yeah, I guess so, because they were saying that the episode with the Bill and dude that's
was extra.
Was that, and then there's also the episode with Ellie and the chick, the flashback episode.
Yeah, the flashback, but that was in the game, but it was also a DLC.
It was DLC.
It was a DLC.
And people are like, "Why are you spending so much time on the DLCs? Because of the gay scene, huh?"
Yeah.
Agenda. And it's like,
agenda.
Honestly, it's not wrong. They're not wrong about that, because like, you know, they want to attract all these audiences and the people who didn't know this and this and that, and now you know, Ellie, arguably, and I don't know because I don't watch enough TV, is probably the #1 pro LGBTQ character on TV right now.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she's now a superhero. We just watched this girl stab the fuck out of like a pedophile cannibal.
Spoiler.
And that shit was wild.
Yeah.
But she's also gay.
Yeah.
And they established that the episode before. So you know that.
Yeah.
How important is that to the story?
We don't No.
It's actually kind of important.
No, it is.
Actually,
yeah, we've played both the games, so yeah, it's pretty important because
So, to be fair, that's what I talk about when I bring this topic up. If it helps enhance the story, I'm all about it. And if you play Last of Us 2 and if you know what's coming, it actually enhances the story quite a fucking bit to know that she is lesbian and she does have these feelings and the work operates like that. So it's actually good that they did that.
Yeah.
But
it wasn't like the game didn't have that and then they were like, oh, let me add this, let me sprinkle a little bit. I feel like that build episode was the only one that was actually like
a little bit over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
I agree because like it was a lot. First of all, the story didn't progress anything.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it made yeah, bro. You're right.
It didn't like nothing. It was literally like during the time of that episode, what were Joel and them doing?
It could have been this. It would have been the same thing as the game because I think there's only like one scene where you meet. It's the same thing. You meet Bill, and like he walks you through this whole thing, right? And then he shows you his place.
Yeah.
And then later on in the game, you go back and you find the note, just like in the game. So like that whole. Like Joel walking up to the gate and then all of a sudden cutting to the whole entire 45 minutes of that thing and then going back to the thing. It was definitely extra.
A little bit over top.
You know what I mean?
I get it though.
Yeah.
I understand what they're trying to do. But at the same time, I also just understand what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Trying to get that LGBTQ money.
Yeah.
Cop it.
The whole bag.
Because when you think about it too, everybody's talking about those moments, right? More than anything else that I'm seeing on the show. And honestly, like, when I think about the show, those are the moments that stand out the most to me. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess it's effective marketing or whatever you want to call it, but, you know, get your little money duffel bag, people. Yeah. Anyways, we'll go ahead and get to the last topic here. Artist of the week. Yeah. Local artist, Torre. I don't like using the word local. We're just saying geographically located, close to us. Artists. Torre Masters just dropped.
Artist of the week.
A new project called called White Sock Fitted. Here's a little clip of that. Check that shit out.
Don't feel alive. Time seeing light shine on. Plastic diamonds. Heavy beat out rhyme on. I float and shine on. To be the one at 24, you ball hard and score and still fall short. All you need is don't feel alive. Time seeing light shine on.
So I really like Torre Masters a lot. I think he's one of my favorite artists in Arizona. Historically speaking, we actually have a song coming out here soon. Relatively soon. I shouldn't say here soon, but soon enough. We have some new shit dropping. Yeah. And he's just dope, man. He's consistent. Yeah. And he's also self-made, which I'm really all about. I'm all about artists who, you know, get their own beats, do their own recording, go to the time to get the studio, pop it, and then they just put in the work.
For sure.
That's what it's all about, man. That's how you get heard. You got to put in the work.
Yeah.
Or you find a manager to do it for you, but you know that oftentimes doesn't go very well.
Yep. Shout out to Torre. That song that we were just listening to was Hurts on his new project. That's the second track. I'll definitely go give that a spin. He has his music on Bandcamp. I'm not sure if it's on all platforms, but
he usually drops his music on Bandcamp.
Yeah. I was looking on the website right now. He has you could buy his whole catalog for like $79.
That's wild.
He dropped I think he has 10 albums on there. So
that's wild. He should raise that price a little bit.
Well, it's actually doing buy his whole catalog and you get 33% off or something.
I see.
You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
So
yeah. He also played Campfire Zero.
Yeah.
Our first campfire.
Yeah.
He
killed it.
Shut that shit down. Shit was dope. We'll be bringing him back again. Speaking of campfire, we'll do some housekeeping before we wrap up here. We have a few events coming up here, including our postponed open mic event. I know if you guys have been paying attention. I hope no one tries to show up tonight. I didn't even think about that. People might just try to pull up tonight.
Nah, we posted. I posted a new video.
We'll see.
Y'all definitely.
I was gonna lock the doors.
Yeah. We'll check you let me know on the cameras if anybody comes to the open mic.
But originally the open mic winner was going to get a slot on Campfire number 3 in March, but because of the fact that we actually are helping produce a feature film out of here, shout out to Anarchy Radio, we actually postponed some of our events and moved around our schedule. And so I decided that when we do this open mic, which will probably be at the end of the month, we are going to give out two slots, a slot to Campfire, but then also a slot to the Truth with Your Whiskey tour with Jiving Scientist JB, Marley B, Tommy Will, and Cash Lansky.
Yep.
So a few tickets have already sold to that event, so it should be a pretty good banger. So
yeah, it's pretty dope. It's actually our first tour.
Yeah, our first tour coming through Star Camp. We're doing a lot of firsts right now, so
it's awesome.
Make sure you check that out because basically we're looking to do the open mic probably the last week in March. I will say that. I'm not going to put out a date yet because I'm trying to decide when we're going to do it, Wednesday, Thursday, or Saturday. We got to reconfigure some things and we'll have a conversation about it. But it will probably be the last week of March. And like I said, will probably be a competition. The winner will get a slot on either the Truth of Your Whiskey tour or Campfire. 3 paid slot VIP room in April. 420 week. We got to do something for 420.
That should be Campfire 4, bro.
I think 420 is like on a fucking like Tuesday though. What day is 420 on?
Oh, it's on a Monday. Never mind.
Ew.
Get the fuck out of here.
Ew.
Trash.
No, it's on a Thursday.
Oh, never mind.
We might do something.
Oh yeah,
we might do something. We just might do something for 420. The Truth with Your Whiskey tour is 2 days prior though. So.
Oh yeah, never mind.
Right.
Probably the 21st.
Working too hard. So we'll see what happens. With that said, we'll go ahead and get the fuck out of your face. We appreciate you guys watching the Quasar Qult podcast. Make sure you check us out at QuasarQult.com. That's QUASARQULT. We have some merch on there. Tell them about the merchandise.
Yeah, we got a discount going right now for 15% off. If you go ahead and hit the Quasar Qult shop. We got tons of new gear. We're dropping new gear this week. I got 3 new designs and a couple of things we're going to be dropping. And just go ahead and put some in your cart and put the promo code QUASY. That's QUASY. And you get it Quasy. Get some gear in here. And if you guys walk into Star Camp with some Quasar Qult gear,
we'll hand you a pre-roll or something.
That'd be lit.
We'll give you $5 and a handshake or a French fry or something like that.
Or some shit like that.
All right, y'all. We'll get out of here. We appreciate you. We'll see you guys next week. One love. Later.
One love, y'all.